Hello friends, my name is Nikolai Panyukov, and today I want to show you how to create a multi-module Gradle project, how to import one module to another, and how to share dependencies between modules. Before start, I recommend you to watch previous videos on my channel about Gradle and about multi-module Maven project to help you understand today's topic. Links you can find in the description. What is a multi-module project? It's a project consisting of several smaller projects. I want to create a multi-module project here with you. I have a simple Gradle project which has no any classes, as you can see, and I want to append some modules here. To do this, at first I need to create a folder with name of my module. It would be directory with name sub project 1 as example. To make Gradle understand that you have a project, you have to go to special file settings.gradle, and I have already here include subproject1 string, but you need to append it manually. This file is necessary to manage all the modules into the project. After that, to make Gradle know that you added new subproject, you have to write special command into the terminal. Let's open the terminal and write the command Gradle projects. Okay, as we see, Gradle writes that it sees the subproject 1. Now, we can create here some classes. For example, let's create a standard directory, src, main, java, and a couple of directories, org, and it would be subproject 1, and append some Java class. For example, module 1 user, it would be. IntelliJ IDEA see this file as a class. It means that Gradle understands that your module is added. Also, you need to append here the file inside the root directory of a new module, a file with name build.gradle. Here you can write special configuration for new module. IntelliJ IDEA also can help you with module creation. You can right click on the root project, next new, and add the module. Next you choose Java Gradle, next, and write the name of a module, sub project 2 as example, finish. And now we can see created a subproject 2 module with build.gradle file already existed. It has group and version. We do not need it. We will configure it through the root build.gradle file. Let's remove it. Also, we do not need repositories and plugin. Dependency, it creates with deprecated test compile scope. You need to change this scope to test implementation. Now it would work, but we do not need it. Let's remove. Also, you may notice that subproject 2 is written in bold font and subproject 1 not in bold font. It means that IntelliJ IDEA doesn't see this project as a module. To fix it, we need to press refresh. And now it works fine. Note that Gradle creates its own executable file for every module. Let's open the Gradle toolbar and run build task. Now you can see build folder for root project, src, and executable Java file. Build folder for every subproject with its own jar file. So when you working with multi-module project is the same as you working with several separate projects. Let me show you how to apply configurations from a root build.gradle file to subprojects and root project. Let's open a root build.gradle file. As default, all configuration which you write in this file would be applied only for root project. So when you write plugins, Java, Java library, and other plugins, it would work only for root project. If you want them to work for subprojects, you can use special keywords. First keyword would be project. In brackets and quotes, you write name of a project, sub project 1, and write the configuration. For example, it would be Java, and let append the task hello. This task do only one thing, it just write in console the IAM name of a project. It's a special variable which stores name of current project. Let's refresh the Gradle. We see that cannot add task hello because it's already exists. Let us comment it for subprojects and refresh. Now let's open the Gradle toolbar and find subproject 1, tasks, other, and we can see our hello task. Let's run it. Yes, I'm subproject 1. So we see that it works well for single project. We may need it to configure our projects from root. Next, it's a subprojects block. Let me comment this first block. Subprojects block is particularly useful when you work with multi-module project without root project. So when you have no SRC, configurations in subprojects block would work only for subproject 1 and subproject 2, not for root. As example, we can apply here plugins. Why do we need to do this? Because when we declare plugins, it would work only for root project, but not for subprojects. And here in this block, we can apply them for all our subprojects. I want you to note that when you declare plugins in plugins block with the version, after that, Gradle knows which plugin do you use, and when you write apply plugin and the name of plugin, you do not need to write the version of this plugin because Gradle understands what version to use. Now, let's uncomment this task hello, refresh the Gradle. Now, open the terminal and write command Gradle hello. We see it works only for subproject 1, subproject 2. If it would work for a root project, there would be IAM Gradle basics. Next block is all projects. Configuration inside all projects works on root project and all subprojects. It's useful for common configurations such as group, version. Oh, let me change the prefix. Org. Next, version of Java, our configuration. As you remember from previous video, it's a special configuration for annotation processor scope to make it work in compile, test annotation processor scopes. Next is repositories and common dependencies. Google Guava, JUnit 5 and Lombok. And also special configuration for test task, use JUnit platform, which is necessary for JUnit 5. If you use JUnit 4, you will need to remove this and write use JUnit. But here we use JUnit 5. And also this configuration could be added as a command. It's encoding. Let me append task hello to all projects block. Refresh the Gradle. And let's run this task for all projects. Now we can see that it works for a root and for every subproject. Couple of minutes ago, I told you that in multi-module project, all projects are separate from each other, but you can import one module to another. For example, we can create a module with name common. Let's finish. Remove all common configuration from it and create here directory src main java. Refresh the Gradle. Now Gradle see this subproject. In settings we can see that IntelliJ IDEA already added include common. Now let's go to the common Java folder, add folder org, Panikov, and then common. And for example, let's create here file common entity. It would have, for example, private final string ID and have all args constructor. What if we want to use this common entity? Let me hide this common entity from other projects. To import this project, we need to write in a build.gradle file of this project special configuration jar, enable it true. It is unnecessary when you use only Java plugin, but when you work with Spring Boot plugin, it will help you to prevent some exceptions. I recommend you to write it every time when you use this module as a library. Next, go to project, for example subproject 1, from where we want to use our new class. Let's go to build.gradle file of subproject 1 and write special dependency. Dependencies, implementation scope, project, quotes, colon, and name of a project, common. Let's refresh. Now we want to check that our entity is accessible from subproject 1. Let's open our module 1 user and makes it extends common entity. You can see that it works and we can create constructor matching super. One more thing that I explained you in previous video but didn't show in practice is how to use dependencies which are declared in one module inside another module. How we can import them. For example, let's go to root build.gradle file and see here Guava dependency. Let's cut this dependency, go to common module. Here inside the build.gradle file of this module, we write dependencies block and declare Guava dependency. Refresh the Gradle. Let's try to use it. Private final map, for example, it would be any map, but with Guava implementation immutable map that builder removes these brackets. Now append brackets here. Now we can put any object in here and write build. so it works for our common project. But what if we want to use it also in subproject 1 without additional declaring of Guava inside build.gradle, only with importing project common? Because for now, if we will try to create a mutable map inside the subproject 1, it wouldn't work because we have no such dependency. To make it work, we need to go here and use API scope. Now, if we refresh the Gradle, we will see the exception that Gradle couldn't find method API, because API scope is provided by a special plugin. We need to declare plugins block ID special plugin Java library. Now, let's refresh the Gradle, go to our module 1, subproject 1, and see that immutable map works well. And last but not least, what I wanted to show you is how to store all dependencies in one external file. It's particularly useful when you work in production. To do this, we need to create a special file with Gradle configuration. Let it be dependencies Gradle file. You can use any name, not just dependencies.gradle. Next, let's go to build.gradle file of a root project and see what dependencies we use. We use 2 test implementation dependency and 1 annotation processor. Let me copy this and go to dependency.gradle file. We need to create map with special syntax. It would be ext dot name of a map, let it be libs, equal sign, square brackets, and in quotes we write the key, let it be Lombok, next colon, quotes, and declaration of our dependency. Let's remove it. Also, we have 2 test dependencies. We could write it in this map or use another map, ext libs test equal sign square brackets Jupyter API key colon, next is Jupyter engine key colon. Let's cut it and paste here. Here we do the same thing. And else I wanted to use our Guava dependency from common module. Guava colon quotes and declaration of our dependency. Now we need to import this file inside our build.gradle file. We can do it in all projects block. Let's do it in the top of this section. We need to use special syntax. Apply from colon double quotes $sign root project dot project dir slash dependencies dot gradle, name of our file. This variable consists path to our root project. It's necessary for our submodules because all projects block works on every module. If we remove this variable, every subproject would try to find this file inside root folder of the module, but there is no such file. So we need to use this variable. And after that, we can declare our dependency like this. We can remove it, write name of our map, it would be libs test, libs test for test. Now we could use our keys. First is Jupyter API, and next is Jupyter Engine. Now let's remove this. Refresh the Gradle. There were no exceptions. Now let's create some test. Directory test Java. Oh, for example, for our module 1 user, create test. And let's use some annotation from JUnit Jupyter. We can create entity and module 1 user. And some ID. Semicolon. Let's run this test. And it works fine. If we go to our root build.gradle file and comment these dependencies, refresh the Gradle, and we'll return to our tests file, we see that it can find JUnit 5. Let's uncomment it. Here we use libs.lombok. From here, note that it just replaces this key with this declaration. Also, there's some exception. Because we didn't refresh the Gradle. So if we will go to our common project and write here libs.guava and refresh, it will work fine. One more thing I wanted to show you is how to run tasks from terminal for separate module. To do this, let's open the terminal toolbar. Next, write the keyword Gradle. Now, if you want to call the command for separate project, we just write the colon, name of a project, for example, common, and name of a task, colon, clean. So we see that clean task removed our build directory from our common subproject. Okay, let me show it to you again. Gradle, colon, common, colon, build. Wait a couple of seconds. And we see that build directory were created. Thank you for watching this video. For now we have learned all necessary things to create a multi-module Gradle project and how to manage dependencies in this project. Hope you will try it by yourself to consolidate the knowledge from today's lesson. Hit the like button, and if you want to see more, make sure you down subscribe button. Have an awesome day. I'll see you once again in the next one.